We are happy to have Joelle Garguilo joining our little party.
Look who's here, entertainment correspondent Joelle Garguilo.
I've got a really good one for you today.
Here with the very latest, our good friend.
NBC's Joelle Garguilo.
Biggest night in theater is here, the 73rd Annual Tony Awards.
Joelle's been on the scene of every big movie, premiere, Broadway show. She gets all the stars.
Joelle Garguilo is live, and it is go time. You ready?
So in the film, Helen Mirren's character says she knows in one bite if a chef is going to be great. So Mr. Spielberg, what is your test for knowing if an actor is going to be great? And Miss Winfrey, what is your test for knowing if an interviewer, a reporter, a talk show host is going to be great?
First of all, I can tell that you have it because it's such a thoughtful question. Usually you're, in this line and everybody asks the same question over and over. Woo!
Past the popcorn, summer is now seating in cinemas.
So this is not just a big movie. This is going to be the biggest movie of the year. Okay. Spider-Man No Way Home comes out on Friday.
Sanderson sisters are back. This is the sequel nearly 30 years in the making. Hocus Pocus 2. It comes out on Disney Plus this Friday the 30th. I have screened it. The premiere is tomorrow night here in New York. I am happy to report that it lives up to the magic of the original. It is hilarious. It is smart. We also get some perspective on how the Sanderson sisters came to be. We get their origin story.
It's the kickoff to award season, the fun-loving antidote to the Oscars.
It's award time!
It's the Golden Globes, honoring the best in both film and TV.
Oh, yeah!
Though this award show had a humble beginning, dating back to 1943, when a small group of journalists came together, forming what would become the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and soon after, the Golden Globe Awards.
And another luminary to receive the Hugo is lovely Doris Day.
Historically, it's been the most censor-provoking, head-scratching, boundary-breaking award show.
I now pronounce you a married couple!
But recently, the Grammys have come under fire for being out of touch. For someone who doesn't seek the spotlight, Ephraim Sykes sure has a way of stealing it.
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go.
For the past 25 years, he's had a hand in every monologue.
Good evening and welcome to Saturday Night Live.
Punchline.
I can see Russia from my house.
And sketch to come out of Saturday Night Live.
Here's you, here's Matt, there's you, there.
No, not the show's creator, Lorne Michaels. Rather, this guy. Meet Wally Ferriston, or as he's known around 30 Rock, Cue Card Wally. He's one of the rare cue card guys left on the job. It may seem like a relic of the past, but for Wally, business is booming.
This is two stacks of comedy.
Something just doesn't feel quite right.
Who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing? But before the stars work their way down the carpet, did you ever wonder how this tradition came to be? Turns out the red carpet has a backstory and ancient roots dating back to 458 BC. An honorable welcome demonstrated by rolling out a long red carpet, first mentioned in the Greek play Agamemnon. For years, ruby-colored rugs became associated with gods and kings until 1821 when presidents began to walk on red. The concept didn't hit Tinseltown until 1922 at a screening of Robin Hood starring Douglas Fairbanks, Hollywood's first ever premiere. Before the days of paparazzi and tabloids, it was the place for stars to be seen and sought out. But in 1995, one woman single-handedly revolutionized it.
Is that the pig from Babe coming up? Is that it? Ah!
Joelle Garguilo is here for Pop Start, the one and only.
Aw, my friends. We're going to start talking about Kristen's favorite topic other than the White House, which is
The Royals.
The Royals.
Yes.
All right, so first up, I've got the latest on Prince Harry and Meghan Markle for you.
Okay, today your charm will have them singing like birds.
How about
All right.
Broadway is coming to the Super Bowl.
Have to get to Oprah, everybody. The Grammys, they are tomorrow. So to get you up to speed on music's biggest night, I've got a little cheat sheet for you.
That was a great pop star, everybody.
Done. Drop the mic.
Happens once a year. Hollywood and haute couture collide right here.
Love that not only are you ladies the stars, but the executive producers. What are you most proud of with this show? Tell us about your interpretation of Camp, because clearly you nailed it. Oscar voters showered this movie musical with a record-tying 14 nominations. Will it make history?
This year, add some too close to call categories into the mix, and you have got an award show that is shaping up to be must-see TV. Can you just help me check one thing off my bucket list? Okay, finish this line with me.
You complete me.
I'm dead. I'll end with this question, which is a selfish one, because I just genuinely want to know, like, the way that we see in The Last Movie Stars, we get to kind of go back in time, and you kind of feel like you're there in these intimate moments. And I'm just curious for you, if you could go back in time and just spend a day on any set, any past set of yours, where would you like to hang just for another minute?
Wow, my brain is rifling through.
And it's a question I've always wanted to ask you. I'm just so curious about why you still do what you do. When it comes to this project, right? This is not an easy one. What lights you up about it?
I love to work.
Yeah.
I love to work. I love great stories, and I love being part of great stories.
James Gandolfini said this in the series. He said, when you all go on, it's the little moments that you'll remember. So what are the little moments that you'll remember from this?
Denzel, I would say thank you for telling it so beautifully, but you owe me a pair of fake eyelashes because I cried them all.
She cried them off. You cried them off. You cried off your fake eyelashes.
Thank you so much. Truly, thank you. I hope you didn't hear my daughter screaming on the other side.
I did, and it brought absolute joy to my life. I say.
I'm just glad to, in some small way, in the way that the abilities I have, to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it. Oh. I
need some
enjoyed this
eyelashes.
so much. I got the new ones.
You're great. You're great. You've always been great. You're great.
We are standing on the stage of the Apollo Theater.
The world famous Apollo Theater.
Right now, we are in Studio 8H, or as people know, the home to Saturday Night Live. Some may say that street art is a man's game. Yeah, what do you say about that?
It is definitely male dominated. There needs to be more women. Calling all female artists, go for it.
We love talking about comeback careers. Do you have advice, especially other women who may be in a similar situation as you were back then?
As a female, you have to realize that you can do big things, and you have to believe you deserve it.
2 years ago, did you think that this was possible, to be making items that people would buy in a gorgeous store?
A couple months ago, I in the shelter. So I get out now, having my own place.
What does your daughter say?
They call me Wonder Woman.
Can you just tell me what being a part of this group means to you?
It basically means my world.
In what ways?
Beautiful ways, encouraging ways.
How old are you?
9 years old.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how cool was today?
100.
It is time for Just the Good News.
Oh, and there's only one person that can do that. It's our friend, New York Live entertainment correspondent, Joelle Garguilo.
Hi, Joelle. Oh, you guys are the best, and I've got a really good one for you today. I know I say that every single time, but making it to Broadway is every performer's dream. But when you hear the story of Haley Kaleem Wright, you will understand why making it to that stage was nothing short of a miracle. I caught up with Haley and her mom at the Civilian Hotel here in New York. Take a look. On Broadway at the Lena Horne Theater, the curtain rises, spotlight hits the stage, and it is Haley Kaleem Wright's time to shine. She plays Catherine of Aragon, a character reclaiming her story in the Tony Award-winning musical Six. And now it's time for the 29-year-old to reclaim hers.
To be a leading lady in a show with all these beautiful, strong women next to me, it doesn't get any better.
After high school, her family moved from Houston to New York City, so both Haley and her mom, Asia, who is also a performer, could pursue their dreams.
Part of us moving to New York, and the whole reason was because she had seen in me something that I didn't even see in myself.
But things didn't go as planned. They soon found themselves at the Department of Homeless Services. Their story was documented in a 2013 episode of MTV's True Life.
So we have to leave the shelter and get placed into a new one.
The process, she says, was dehumanizing.
There was no other choice but to make it through and to survive.
At 20, Haley and her mom moved back to Texas. Work overseas gave her a glimpse of success,
but a Houston flood washed it all away. They were houseless yet again. So with just $200 to her name, Haley booked a one-way flight back to New York City.
How have you always had this faith? The thing that I love about New York is that even when I was unhoused, I still had the opportunity to see glimpses of what my future could be. Walking past these Broadway stages, and I'm imagining walking in the stage door as I'm walking to my retail job. It was also kind of me being a little defiant, like I'm not going to fail. I want to challenge every stereotype, every thought about whatever you think of unhoused people, Black people, whatever, that we are more than what you could ever imagine.
We can't talk about your story and not talk about your mom.
She was a country music singer, signed to a whole country music label, Black woman doing country, unheard of in that time, you know, and she always was so fierce of protecting me.
It's your first night on that stage, and you know that your mom is there watching you play Catherine of Aragon.
The thought that comes to me is like, look what God has done. And like, I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of us making it through to the next day.
Where did you find the strength to keep going?
Everything that we've been through, there was not a moment where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna give up now. What do? You figure it out.
What's it like watching your baby shine?
Ooh, it's otherworldly. You know, this is a piece of my heart. Ooh. This is a living, breathing piece of me.
The lights go on in the Lena Horne Theater, and the first person we see and the first words we hear, they come from you. What's that first line?
Listen up, let me tell you a story.
Have you really sat with that and understood the magnitude of that being the first line we hear and it being yours?
When you say it just now, it gives me goosebumps and it gives me chills because it's like, man, I never put two and two together until now. I feel like everybody's had a situation that's knocked them further than they expected to fall. And it's not about the falling, it's about getting back up. And you ain't seen nothing yet. This is just the beginning.
And for the first time, Asia got to see her daughter displayed on the front of a Broadway theater.
Oh my goodness! Oh, you look so beautiful.
We did it!
You did it. You did it. I'm so proud. And all that you, not just this. This is just a small piece of who you are.
I love you so much.
Oh,
They're amazing,
so
aren't they?
Just a small piece of who you are.
Actually, Haley was here performing. Yes. I just want to point out, her mom was outside on the plaza with a sign. Did you see it? There you go. Yeah.
She's my,
I want to put it out into the universe because their next thing that they're manifesting is being on a Broadway stage together in the same show because they are both performers. So let's just put it out. Put it out there.
I think you might have it. Joelle, thank you.
Joelle and 6 is such a good show. Thank you.